let's get into the weeds of World Championships. The fans were robbed in the 200 IM. We were so excited. You've been, what did you go, 207.14 in the 200 IM? Is that correct? I made it mine. 207.19. 207.19 at the Sydney Open. That was in May. That's a personal best. So we were like, whoa, Kaylee's turned on in the 200 IM. This is going to be an amazing final. And the back to breast turn, you went past vertical, but we also reported some other athletes were going past vertical. They didn't get DQs, and particularly some Team USA athletes. Was that something that surprised you, and how did you handle it?
Look, the medley has been something that I really enjoy training for, and when I went to 207, I was like, I could really give those US girls a red hot, go for this race, and started training it a little bit more and more. And I'm still needing to get a bit more practice with how to race it properly under my belt. So hopefully, this start of the season, I'll be able to do that and, get that confidence in it. And then, all of a sudden I'm getting ready for this, going through the semifinals. I had a really good, comfortable heat swim semifinals, so that as we were getting out, and usually they DQ you when you're still in the pool. And it wasn't till I had done my media for back home, and then he had come back around and he's like, oh, did you see the board? You got DQ'd. And I was like, huh? It's not something I've only ever been DQ'd for moving on the blocks before a backstroke start. So I was just like, what did I get DQ'd for? I was going through my head. I was like, I didn't go past 15. My hands touched on every wall together. I don't understand what I did wrong. And I think it was a few hours later, the head coach, Rod Taylor, came over. He's like, oh, yeah, you were over 90 degrees. And I was like, I could have sworn it was safe. And it was, so we went in, obviously tested against it, and they came back and just said no, but they didn't use any other footage. So they used the footage on the bottom of the pool that was over in lane 8. So it's kind of hard to justify where 90 degrees is when I was in lane 5 or something like that, and they're using a camera on the opposite side of the pool. And then, the next day I see this article that you guys have released of cameras from above. And I broke down in tears. I was like, this is so unfair. Because even the person who had DQ'd me, they were like, oh, it was 50-50. So they just went with, the same option, let's DQ her. But, when you guys released that footage, I was just distraught. I was like, this is so unfair. And this is before my 100 backstroke heats, mind you, just bawling my eyes out. Because originally I thought, I'll cop it on the chin, go with the rules, go with the ruling. And then I was like, no, I'm going to show these guys that I'm still a good swimmer. I'm not going to let them take my world championships away from me. And I'm just so thankful as well. We had another Australian in that race. Jenna Forrester, up and coming, not even up and coming, she was on the podium for the 400. So I just think for me, I was proud to have another Australian in there to give those girls a red hot crack as well.
2:07.19 in May, and you're just off Stephanie Rice's Australian record, and so you have to. What would you have swum if we're going to look into the alternate universe where you swam that final? What would it have been?
Oh, look, I would have hoped to have had been around the 2.7. I don't think I'm quite a 2.6 swimmer yet. But who knows? We guess we'll have to wait and see for what I can do next season.
I would say definitely made a bet on the podium somewhere with a certain color of medal, and the fans felt like they were robbed. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of the reporters jumped on the story and started digging into it. And I'm sorry that made you cry when you read it.
That's okay.